This shoe with a review of the ning yushuai. God, they could not have made the name more difficult to pronounce. Look at that. Just think about the global market. You guys are going global and doing pretty well. Why do you come up with these ridiculous names? John Jacob, Jingle Hamishmig, Kelly Fridge, Thing Up those kind of names. You want to make a shoe out of that too. Anyway, this is ning is probably one of the earliest Chinese brand basketball shoes to make a global impact or be seen in the NBA. Dwayne Wade signed with ning and the Jordan brand for a good reason. They were providing him with more attention and probably catering more to his needs better than the Jordan brand. And Jimmy Butler had some problem with the Jordan brand apparently because the shoes from Jordan brand didn't really fit him well. He had some trouble getting blisters in his foot and whatnot and getting foot injuries, and he wanted Jordan brand to probably do something more. And his management company probably wanted them to create a signature shoe instead of just pasting player exclusive little Jimmy Butler logos and look, it's just for you. That's not gonna work. Just don't give the star a conventional shoe and give him something customized. But Jordan brand failed to do that. They did not even offer him a great contract. You've seen Jordan brand coming up with signature shoes for athletes that are of a lesser pedigree than Jimmy Butler. So probably because they're younger, youth sells, I suppose. Kawhi Leonard also got the treatment and left Jordan brand and went to New Balance, and they quarreled. They had an argument over the claw logo. So Jordan brand has not been doing really great in a couple of years back, losing all the stars and not providing them due respect. So Wade, after Jimmy came to Miami, apparently hooked him up with ning, and ning has been great to Jimmy. Jimmy has been doing a great job wearing these ning shoes. He wears the yushuai 14, which is the brand before this. Interestingly, ning has this concept of releasing 3 different types of shoe. The cheap ass one that's affordable, but it's missing a lot of tech, the medium one which has some tech but not all of it, and the super premium one which has more than enough tech. It's bursting with it. So I guess it's sort of like the takedown version, the normal version, and the elite version is what they have for most of the shoe. So the yushuai 14 player exclusive, the one that Butler wears, and this is the 15th one. Interestingly, they have this boost-like material they call Boom. That's what the legal department came up with. Boom. The white foam is called Cloud Foam, and this is also pretty good. The density is nice and soft as well. So together, these two dual density foam provide a very smooth ride. Overall, if you just put this on and wear, they just feel like Ultra Boost or any soft Boost Adidas running shoes. That's how it feels like. You know how Boost, when it's used in basketball kicks, they kind of don't really feel as good as a running shoes. This feels as good as the Adidas Boost running shoes. The Boom is it's not the thickest Boom layer. So I guess it's like 60-40 or 70-30. And they work nicely in tandem. And interestingly, it's not uniform. On the forefoot, the Boom is extra thick. It's elevated a little bit so that there's added plushness on the forefoot. But personally, I would prefer that to be on the heel because the heel is where the impact happens, and forefoot you just want to be lower to the ground. But anyway, with these plastic plates that provide some extra resistance, there is a certain level of balance. I mean, it feels like it doesn't have an incredible heel to toe drop, but it does feel like there's a certain level of elevation offset that's decent. The cushioning is, like I said, how can I give it more praise than it's as good as some of the best, softest Adidas Boost running shoes. That's how it feels like. So for size 9, it weighs about 408 grams. So they feel as heavy as a digit shoe. It's not feather light, but it's not composite heavy. I love this iridescent logo. These shiny things just get me. The great thing about Chinese shoes is that they do a great job of providing an awesome outrigger, and true for ning as well. The outsole is fantastic. The pattern is incredible. It's durable and it bites, and it's relatively dust resistant. How could I ask for more? The outsole definitely deserves some. If there's an Oscar for basketball shoe technology, this outsole pattern deserves it. The fit is a little weird because most Chinese shoes, they have a lot of dead space on top of the toe box area. For this, as you can tell, it's a lot sharper, but still the shoe feels a little bit longer. So there feels like there's a little bit of wiggle room here at the tip, and you feel like there's a bit of a space here. And the thing is, the lockdown is not that great. Maybe they should have the laces closer to the toe box area. And it's not crazy wide, but it's not crazy narrow. The biggest problem is that it runs a little bit long, and there's a wiggle room space here nearby the toe area. So if you have really narrow foot, I would say definitely go down half a size at least. For most people, I would say you should go 2 sizes, because if you go down a size too much, you might feel it gets a bit narrow. But it is pretty forgiving. So I would say true to size for most people, but be warned that there's gonna be some insecurity there. And the tongue is a serious issue, because these little parts where they should be well padded, because the lace loops, they would tighten and they need some padding there. It's not as bad as a LeBron 18s, but it's still pretty bad, because it's just a thin layer instead of a thick padded tongue. So if you lace them tight, you feel a little bit of a circulation interference. So I wish they would have done something with that, put more foam padding there. The hookup is there, getting the job done, rigid and nice. The padding all around is nice, and it locks your foot down securely, and there aren't any pinching sensation. It is ergonomically nicely designed. And the biggest problem I have is, other than the tongue, the insole is really, really crappy, because it's super thick. It doesn't need to be, because I mentioned before, this actually feels like soft boost, like running shoes. So why would you need this crazy thick EVA pour-on type of insole? The problem with this insole is that this additional popped up button like area, this really irritates your foot. It's something small, but you know what Muhammad Ali used to say? Was it Muhammad Ali or someone else said it, and Muhammad Ali quoted it? It's not the mountains that bring you down, it's the pebble in your shoes. This is the freaking pebble in your shoe that'll get you. And also the top coating, I don't know what it is, but it feels like silky slippery. So my foot was like slipping all over the place. So don't stick with this, because the shoe already runs kind of long, and you feel like your toe has some space to plunge into it at the tip. You want a midsole that's kind of suede and it hugs the shape of your foot and it secures you. So get something thin and with a top coat that's not as crazy friction free as this one. Price point, I think you can get this for like slightly over $100, which is pretty affordable. The design is beautiful. The fit is getting a lot better compared to other Chinese brand shoes, so definitely I would say give this a go. Oh, it's crazy stuffy, not breathable. It looks like it's all like knit and breathable, but there's a multiple layers of cross-knitted fabric material then that's not breathable. It's also kind of glued together. There's a glue coating there, and inside there's a thick neoprene layer as well, so it's stuffy as hell. This is for winter. Don't wear them for prolonged periods of time, and when it's on a hot summer day. It's crazy stuffy. Oh, Li Ning is also a gymnastics hero, apparently, of China. He is probably the founder of the shoe and named the company after him, and I believe it was initially, or still is, heavily government funded, because it's a national brand, a national hero who won gold medals for China. So yeah, it'll be like Michael Phelps started his own brand and it's called Phelps, or something like that.